Wow. The electricity coming into this room before this all began was super high, and even with the malfunction of the microphone, it didn't squelch anything. So we thank you for inviting us all to witness this beautiful sacrament of holy matrimony, the outward sign of God's love. And the readings you chose, obviously you put a lot of thought into this. And you took your preparation for this day very seriously. And I really appreciate that. And it's been such a joy. And you have really been light to me throughout this whole process. And I've so enjoyed the process of working with you because I think you get it. I think you understand. That first reading that you chose, Jordan, it tells us that you really do cherish Danielle as a worthy wife. And Danielle, your value to Jordan is far beyond any pearls. Your value to Jordan is obvious in the beautiful letter that I just heard down below of his expressing his love to his bride, about to become one in the with all the bridesmaids. And Danielle was in tears with the expression of your love. She's always to be kept very close to your heart. And what you see, Danielle, what Jordan sees in you is you are stunning today. But he sees something much more beautiful that's more deeper than skin deep. He sees the beauty of your soul, and that's really what drew him here. And you can tell that in the way that you came together and the way that you took these readings seriously. The Psalms today that you chose, the Lord is kind and merciful, compassionate. That is a prescription for how you can preserve this special love in your marriage. That prescription is really very, very simple. It means that it really comes down to always staying connected to the vine, the true source of God's love. If you do that, you will always be able to love each other the way Christ intended your love to be for each other. And you will be successful, and you will be a model to your children and your children's children, just like Jordan, your grandfather, who I met out here, is a model to you, to his children and his children's children, and hopefully his children's children's children as we come together. The second reading that you chose is beautiful. It's exciting. It's really the model of Christ's love for the church. And by choosing that reading, what Jordan and Danielle are saying is that they are going to model their love for each other after the same model that Christ has for each one of us in the church. That's beautiful. That's a high calling. We submit everything that we do to Christ in the church because he is perfect love. So what that means is for all of us, when we look at that reading, that we have to strive to be that perfect love, because anything less than that is never what we should submit to. And submission, Paul says in that reading, is a 50-50 deal. He says, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. If you submit to Christ, and you submit then to one another, making the other more important than yourself, because that is really what love is. That's the love that you're called to, Jordan, in that you must be willing to lay down your life for Danielle. And as a witness in your preparation, I think you're ready for that task. I think that you will lay down your life for your wife. And that's what we're called to. And Danielle, with that beautiful love that he will express to you, it will be a beautiful marriage that will be a reflection to all of us. This world so desperately needs to see that type of love in a marriage. You both had that as witnesses to your family. You told me about that. They were the salt and the light and showed you the way. They showed you what love is, that love is sacrifice, that love is other-centered, and that in a few minutes, you're going to be saying your vows under the beautiful image of what love really is. We just look no further than the cross. It's sacrifice, totally other-centered. And that is what the world needs to see through your compassion, through your mercy, through bearing with one another's faults, because we're not perfect, but hopefully we can grow in virtue, and the Holy Spirit will help you grow in virtue. If you remain always faithful to his love, you will remain faithful to the love that you have for one another. And you will not lose the flavor that you have as long as you are connected to the vine. And that is going to be what we are ready, all of us here, your friends, your family is gathered here, and they are going to support you through this. You're not alone, and you have Christ at your side, always walking with you in good times and in bad, and in sickness and in health, until finally your final goal for each other is to get each other to heaven, as we discussed in our marriage preparation. I don't know which one has a bigger job, but that is your goal, is to get each other primarily, number one, to heaven, then bring your children, and then bring all of us with you, if you will, please. You'll do that by the way you model your love for one another. And if your faith makes you ready to accept this beautiful next step, this day, that is probably one of the happiest days, probably the happiest day in your life so far, right? It's the happiest day, I'm sure. I can tell, I know, because I can see it in your eyes. But this, I hope and pray, is not your happiest day. I hope that you have many, many more happier days even. That means that God is going to abundantly bless your marriage in many ways with the love that you have for one another. And if you're ready to express that love in front of the church's minister and in front of all your friends and family, and in front of all of us, we now invite your wedding party to come forward as we witness this beautiful miracle of the two that will become one.